Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a transfer roundup of my team, Arsenal Football Club, the Mighty Gunners, going through a few of the possible incomings and outgoings, and obviously someone we've agreed terms with, but we'll get into that one. So we'll kick it off with the agreed signing of Alexander Zinchenko from Manchester City. Left back, very versatile, can play left back, CDM obviously like he does for Ukraine. He's got that Premier League experience. He's got Man City pedigree, so he's part of a team that's serial winners, especially when it comes to the Premier League. They always run deep in competition, so he's someone who's been used quite a lot in terms of the domestic cups, Champions Leagues, and obviously in the Premier League. So he's got a lot of games under his belt. He's only a young age. I think he's about 25. Yeah, 25 years old. Obviously, he signed a 4-year contract with us, bringing him into the club till 2026. So for me, that's a great signing. Obviously, he's a replacement for Kieran Tierney if he gets injured, but I think he will start. I think we'll start him in the CDM role, and when Tierney gets injured, or if he gets injured, I think that's when he will fill in. But I think Zinchenko likes, when he plays with Ukraine, he likes to play a bit further forward, and I think that's when he plays his best football. So it'll be interesting to see how Arteta uses him and what systems we play in this season. So I'm really looking forward to the start of next season. But that's just one of the things that's going on at Arsenal, and it makes me a very happy man, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see where we go next. Moving on to one that's disappointed me a little bit with Arsenal. I can't believe we've let this man go. It's Amari Hutchinson. Obviously, a youth prospect coming through the Arsenal ranks. 18 years old, played in the under-18s and under-23s. Got a few goals and assists to his name. He's played 46 games in both the age groups, under-18s and under-23s. He's got 17 goals and 16 assists, and he's only 18, so he's putting up good stats for his age. He's got approximately half the goal contributions to the games he's playing, so he had something showing that he could be a good player in the future. But unfortunately, we've let him go to not just anyone, the rivals in London. We've let him go to Chelsea, which is disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Very good young talent. A lot of people going on about him possibly breaking into the team quite soon. So it took me by surprise, this one. And yeah, it's not really sat well with me, but it is what it is now. It looks like he's gone. I think it's been agreed, and Fabrizio's gave it the all clear. So that one, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with, but he's a goner, unfortunately. Moving on to missing out on Lisandro Martinez. So that one, when we first got linked with him, I thought, aye, we got a great signing on our hands here. And as soon as Man U decided to get involved, that's when I knew things could get a little bit sticky, because obviously the Ten Hag connections, again, with Man U and Ajax, they've already done it once and they're doing it again. So it's one of them ones. They're gonna get them players from Ajax just because of that Ten Hag connection. The players at Ajax love Ten Hag. They love this system that he played with. So these players, especially Martinez, will know exactly what they've got to do when they get to the Premier League to hit the ground running. So it's going to be an interesting one for Manchester United, that, but I don't want to talk too much on Man U. In terms of the price tag, it was 55 million they spent, but it's got 10 million's worth of add-ons. So you're looking at 65 million. I think that was a bit too steep for Lisandro Martinez. Obviously, not got any Premier League experience, but I think Man U paid the price because it's someone that Ten Hag really, really wanted and really, really likes. So, but that was too steep for Arsenal. But yeah, all the best to him at Manchester United. But yeah, another one really. If we wanted him, I think we could have got him if we was willing to pay the fee. But I just don't think we was willing to pay it, to be honest. So I think we're going to move on from that one. A few more links we've got. We've got Lucas Paqueta in that midfield role from Lyon. He's played 44 games in the last season. Scored 11 goals and got 7 assists. So it's not the best ratio, but the type of football they play out in France and the position he plays, the numbers he's put up are reasonable. So he's a very experienced man. I think they want somewhere in the region of 60 million, I think. So it would be our most expensive signing of the window so far. So I think that one, we're desperate for a midfielder. We are really desperate for a midfielder. So I think it will be between him or Yuri Tielemans as to who we bring in. But yeah, Lucas Paqueta's got a few links with been thrown about with Arsenal, so it'll be interesting to see where that one goes. Obviously, we was linked with Milinkovic-Savic as well. Put a bid in, it got turned down. I don't know if we're going to try and go in with a bigger bid or we're just going to let it die down a bit and approach it again a little bit later on. But yeah, links to Lucas Paqueta. Yeah, good player. Would be a good player at Arsenal, but we'll see where that one goes. Moving on swiftly to interest in the German league. This one took me by surprise, really. Obviously, we was linked with our old boy, Serge Gnabry, but he's recently signed a contract extension out in Germany with Bayern Munich. But on the other end, we've been linked with Leroy Sané, the German winger. He's very young, only 26 years old, so he's in his prime. He's played 42 games this season, scored 13 goals and got 7 assists. So that's 20 goal contributions in 42 games. So again, roughly around the half mark, same as Omari Hutchinson when we had him in the youth ranks. But he's got a 50% conversion of goal contributions towards the games he's played. Very influential player. Obviously, he's played in the Premier League before at Man City, but he got shipped out to Bayern Munich. It's an interesting one, really. I think he's a quality player. First team starter for Germany. I think he's a first team starter for Bayern as well, to be honest. But we'll see. They're asking for, I think, in the region of 70 to 75 million for him. I think that breaks the bank for us. I think if we sign him, I think it will be just him, and I don't want to see that. I want to see a midfielder. I'm really desperate for a midfielder. Obviously got Thomas Partey, got Jacob, got Lokonga as well. Lokonga's still very young, very raw, but you can see the talent the young man's got. We've got El Neni, obviously he signed a 1-year contract extension. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what we do, but I do think the centre midfield is our priority at the minute. So I think that one should get done. Obviously, Zinchenko can fill that role, but I think we need a specialist for that role. The holding midfield role or box to box. So we'll see where that goes. And moving on to Yuri Tielemans, last of all, obviously was linked with him heavily at the beginning of the transfer window, and it was all guns blazing, it seemed, for Yuri Tielemans, but that seems to have died down a little bit towards the end of the transfer window. But I think Arsenal have secretly got something going on here, and they've just managed to keep it away from prying eyes, if you understand what I'm saying. I think they've got an agreement with the player and with Leicester. Obviously, Leicester want around the 30-35 million mark. Reports are saying that they're willing to go down in price. I think Arsenal are playing the long game with Tielemans and trying to get that price down so we can afford the midfielder and the wing option. So I think Arsenal are doing some shrewd business here, but it can backfire. So it's one of them. Do you try and be shrewd? Do you try and get a couple of million off the price tag so you can put forward into the midfield on the winger? Or do you make sure and you seal the deal with this Tielemans deal? We'll wait and see. But I think Edu and Arteta are doing some really good business this summer. We was calling out for a striker. He just seems to be hitting the ground running under Arteta in the pre-season games. Obviously, it's only pre-season. You don't know how he's going to start in the league, but if that's anything to go by, it's looking promising. He's got 3 goals in 2 games. So if he can carry on that kind of form when we start the league, I think he'll hit that 20 goal mark that everyone's been talking about for the first time in his career. So very interesting, very, very intrigued to see how this season pans out. Obviously, it's a big. There's a few teams up there that can do a bit of damage. You've got your Liverpools and your City, obviously. Then you've got your next tier down, you'd say your Chelsea, your Tottenham, your Arsenal, your Man U's. It's going to be very, very, very interesting to see who gets that third and fourth spot. But we'll see how that pans out over this season. Obviously, it's vital for Arsenal to get off to a great start away from home against Crystal Palace. For me, that is a must-win game. Obviously, going away from home on the first day of the Premier League, it's a tough ask, but the signings we're bringing in, Zinchenko at left-back, all in the CDM role, solid, got that Premier League experience. Obviously, he's got the link with Arteta from previously. You got your Gabriel Jesus, quality player, hit the ground running so far by the looks of it. Hopefully, if we can bring Lokonga into a bit of it, develop him as we're going along, alongside the likes of Zinchenko to get his defensive side up, I could see it being a good season. I think the key for Arsenal this season is trying to minimise the injuries, because we're going to be playing a lot more fixtures with the Europa League, obviously hoping to run a bit deeper in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cups this season, and the Premier League. But I think it's key that we keep Tomiyasu, Tierney fit, who were out for long periods last season. Obviously, Partey had a suspension and was away with AFCON. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season. The first time ever that the Premier League season is going to be interrupted by a Winter World Cup. So I don't know how that could it favour us? I'm not too sure. We've got Saka who plays for England. Ramsdale was breaking through at England. Who else we got? We've got all the Brazilians, obviously. We've got Jesus, Gabriel, and Martinelli. They're all going to be playing that with Brazil. But yeah, all the big teams are going to be missing some players, so it's going to be an interesting season. But yeah, just to summarise, I think this transfer window, we do need to get a midfielder, a centre mid, so a box-to-box midfielder, and for me, Tielemans will be the man for that. The left-back side of things, so Zinchenko. I think I would rather Zinchenko play left-back, because we've seen him do it at City. Obviously, he plays CDM for Ukraine, but the strength and depth we've got in the defensive midfield role is better, I would say, than the one we've got at left-back, because obviously we've got Tierney, but Tavares had a stinker last season, and reports are saying that he might be going out on loan or even being sold. Obviously, we were linked with Aaron Hickey before, but he's then gone to Brentford, and we've now been linked with Zinchenko and got the deal done. So it makes you think, is that a left-back signing? But it's always good to have versatility in your squad. You know, in case you're running thin, fixtures are clustered together, playing the Europa League. We're going to be playing Thursdays and Sundays most of the time. So it'll be very interesting to see how that gets rotated. And who starts first, whether it's going to be Tierney or Zinchenko. But we'll leave that decision to Arteta. That's why he's getting paid the big money, and hopefully he can get us in that top four, ready for the Champions League the following season. But it's all to be looked at and scrutinised throughout the season. Still a bit of time left in the transfer window, obviously up until September, so we've still got a good two and a half months. So yeah, let's hope we can get some good business over the line. I'll be happy with 2 more signings. That would bring us up to the 6 mark, I think. So we've got Fabio Vieira, Marquinhos, Jesus. Then we'd have Zinchenko confirmed already, so that's 4. 2 more brings us up to the 6, so the Tielemans. And possibly a right winger. Who knows? We could get Sane, but I think that one's very unlikely. I think that one's just been chucked out there as a little bit of a distraction for people. I think that's what I think it is. I think that's a distraction to get other deals over the line. But we'll wait and see. And that's my summary for the Arsenal transfers for this coming season. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Cheers, guys.